Document management. This is an assignment presented for the course Information and Knowledge Management by MBA Green Group, Syndicate 6. Most organizations have realized that knowledge is one of the most valuable resources, and that companies that manage knowledge appropriately have a competitive advantage over organizations that are lagging behind. Our topic of interest within the knowledge management framework is document management. Document management is the capture, storage, and retrieval of documents in an organization. It is also used to control the life cycle of documents in the organization. We selected this topic because many knowledge management initiatives start with document management, as it is an easy project to sell to senior management. Most of our syndicate members have been or are currently involved in the implementation of the knowledge management system in their organizations, and participating in this research project provides us with an opportunity to benchmark our previous and or current actions with best practices. As a syndicate, we met and agreed that the best approach to execute the research was to use a real-life example of the implementation of a document management system. We decided to investigate BHP Billiton, as this organization is in the process of implementing a document management system. We designed an interview questionnaire containing the following questions. Why did BHP consider document management? What needed to be done before starting the implementation? And what measures will be used to determine the success of the project? Who is involved in the planning and the implementation of the project? And last but not least, what is the risk associated with the implementation of the document management system? One of our team members, who is a BHP employee, was asked to interview some of the key players that are involved in the implementation team of the document management solution for BHP. This member then gathered the information, circulated the results to all syndicate members, after which we had a meeting to review and discuss the findings. We recorded the relevant research findings. We also analyzed the implications of our findings for BHP and provided recommendations. Why did BHP consider document management? BHP considered document management with an aim to achieving any and all of the following objectives. Manage their regulatory and legal exposure in relation to the documents they create, receive, store, disseminate, and delete. Improve their productivity through more efficient management of business information contained in their documents. Improve their practices and processes in relation to the management, sharing, retention, and disposal of business information captured in their documents. Identify areas where BHP can leverage common business information systems, services, and solutions captured in the organization's document. They also wanted to enable BHP to meet their corporate governance obligations for legal and financial, and to provide a disciplined approach to document management in order to generate productivity improvements across the group. What needed to be done before the implementation started? In order to implement the document management system successfully, BHP required a framework that integrated policy, standards, practices, technology enablers, and user guidelines in the entire process. What needed to be done before starting the implementation? There was also the need to have a process of alignment and assessment to get ready for the deployment by firstly mobilizing resources, organization, and sponsorship and commitment from executive level, assessing the current state of affairs in respect to people, process, and technology, as well as available information, and lastly planning for the deployment, getting ready for checkpoint reporting, and also agreeing on how performance evaluations would be conducted. The measures put in place to determine success, or rather what needed to be measured in order to determine success, is as per the diagram indicates below. There are a number of people that would be involved in a document management project, and a number of executive groups had a key role in the implementation of the document management system for BHP Billiton. This ranged from lowly members of staff all the way up to the chief executive officer, who had ultimate responsibility for all the legal and statutory requirements pertaining to the group. There are a number of risks that are associated with the implementation of a document management system. These risks are broadly categorized as being within the framework of risk management, cost containment, and people matters. Under risk management, there is the possibility of a loss of production, security and retention of documents, damage to equipment, and possibly litigation risk. From a cost perspective, there was possibly a scenario where there was a loss of money and time as well as inefficiencies. From people perspective, there was a possibility of people using incorrect information and having to resort to manual operations in order to make up for when the document management system did not function as was originally planned. We also sought to understand how BHP would best implement the document management system. And BHP, according to McFarlane's strategic grid, is currently in the turnaround strategic quadrant as it is trying to exploit strategic opportunities from new IT. The technology that must be used by BHP to support the document management framework initially has to have a high impact on the business strategy, but can be low on business operation. However, the intention of BHP is to move to the strategic quadrant, and therefore from the onset they should invest in technology that has high impact on strategy and on business operations. In other words, new and reliable technology. In terms of Gartner's hype cycle, technology must be between the technology trigger and the peak. Further analysis of BHP was able to lead us to identifying the right collaborative model that would work as BHP rolled out the document management system. As a global company, and considering the potential investment required for this project, BHP should use the elite circle of collaborating. This means that the structure of the collaboration must be a closed loop. BHP defines a problem and selects a group of participants, and that it must be hierarchical. So once again, BHP must pick the solution. This will also require buy-in from business units in order to minimize reliance on direction from corporate IT and external third parties. All parties involved in the project must have regular action reviews to ensure that the project will deliver what is required by business. Further analysis of the implications. Based on the information received, BHP has done well in firstly, defining the need for a document management system. Secondly, establishing what needs to be done before implementing the project. Defining to some extent the measures of success of the project. Number 4, establishing who some of the relevant people required to be involved in the project are. Number 5, identifying the risks associated with the project. And then number 6, putting in place a document management strategy which is aligned to the business strategy. And last but not least, and very, very important, having strong executive support. Recommendations. We believe that BHP should consider the following: having a change management process which articulates a compelling vision, reinforcing the vision through recognition and reward systems, and providing the required skills and resources to ensuring that there are role models who communicate the various visions. Underestimating the amount of effort required to facilitate the change is dangerous and could prove fatal to the whole project. Creating a clear and consistent understanding of the measures required to demonstrate progress, putting in place a robust budgeting process that will ensure that insufficient budgeting is avoided and that the project is not justified by using inaccurate figures. Lastly, but not least, having a strategy that will ensure compliance with emerging legislation and corporate governance in various jurisdictions, requiring organizations to demonstrate a business-wide active retention disposal program that addresses corporate governance and legal and regulatory requirements across the various geographies in which BHP operates. In conclusion, BHP has created a commendable platform for implementing the document management system by having the document management framework in place that supports the business strategy. BHP is presently in turnaround mode with a view to moving to strategic mode. It must ensure that the technology used to support the document management framework is new and reliable, and also choose the elite circle of collaborating in implementing the project. The board and executive team must be involved in order to ensure proper IT governance. BHP must also ensure that the recommendations set out above are implemented in order to mitigate the risks associated with implementing a project of this magnitude. In light of the above, and subject to the implementation of the recommendations, BHP will be in a position to implement a project that will deliver all the business objectives successfully. Thank you.